Nigerian B2B payment platform Duplo has raised $4.3 million in its seed round, which was supplied by a coalition of investors. Total of 45 investors joined the round. This capital injection comes after a strong period of growth for the company, having increased the number of businesses on its platform by 1,000%. In the last 5 months, total payment volume has increased by 4,200%. The Nigerian B2B payments platform offers an end-to-end solution that automates the back office processes of generating and processing invoices, receiving and approving bills, collecting and disbursing funds, completing account reconciliation. So Duplo is aimed at helping African businesses grow through its simplified payments. Joining us to discuss further is Yele Oyekola, who's the CEO and co-founder of Duplo. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to first kick off with what is the status quo in business-to-business payments in Nigeria and Africa generally today? How are businesses currently managing their payment processes?
Thank you for having me. Good evening. The issues that plague business payments across the continent are very contextual, and they vary across different countries. But in Nigeria, business payments are still very manual. Invoices are not standardized and are paper-based, making it very difficult for businesses to scale and run their businesses. A recent report that Duplo published a few months ago showed that in Nigeria, businesses have to wait over 24 hours to receive payments from their business customers and partners. Over 34% of them have to wait 7 days to get paid, and then 17% of them take about 30 days to get paid as well. And this is very difficult for businesses to scale and provides immense cash constraints that need to grow and run their businesses.
Yeah, if you do dry cleaning here in Nigeria, some of them still have very manual methods of recording and collecting payments and so on. So point well made there. How do you think we can or should improve this situation?
Currently, businesses want three things with their payments operations. One, they want to get paid faster. They want a reliable payments partner. And then lastly, they want a simple to use solution. And there are many levers we can use to pull to ensure this happens. One is the invoices have to be digitized and standardized. Secondly, as well, payments have to reconcile automatically to the accounting software and the ERP solutions. Lastly, as well, we should be able to provide real-time access to FX for local businesses. And lastly, but importantly, is that we need a multi-level identity verification for business to onboard your partners, suppliers, and the vendors to ensure that there's less fraud and transparency with their business partners.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. Now, businesses have been managing their payments, I guess, as you mentioned, manually for a long time. How open have they been, though, to adopting tech-enabled solutions? And what difference does it make, actually making, beyond technology for the sake of it?
We see tech as a means to an end, and that end for us is complete visibility into your financial operations, instant payments, reduced fraud and errors, and less expenses spent on manual tasks that could have been fully automated with improved digital solutions like Duplo's. So when you explain this to a customer, they fully understand, and the value prop is immensely powerful for them as well. So for us, it just makes sense to enable to basically educate these different businesses on the value prop that Duplo provides. And yeah, we see tech as a means to an end for these different businesses.
A lot has been said about the global downturn and how it's impacting the ability of tech startups to secure funding. You got $4.3 million seed funding. How is this funding round exactly? How's it going to work out for you? How are you going to deploy the funds?
So there's a global downturn right now, but I think there's still a lot of excitement about investing on the continent, and it's very logical. Most founders of the continent are solving or building layer 1 or layer 2 infrastructural stack that we need on the continent. And I'll compare it to the way you have railroads and bridges across developed countries like America and the UK. We don't have enough railroads and bridges in Nigeria and Africa at large. So when you tell an investor that, they get incredibly excited. For Duplo, for example, we're building the infrastructure to power payments between businesses across the entire continent. And this isn't just about getting paid or making payments. It also opens up the world economy for local businesses in Nigeria and in Africa. And these problems require capital. And of course, there will be reduced funding over the next few months and years. But the founders on the continent are very resilient. And for us at Duplo, it was very simple. We're solving a very important problem in arguably the biggest economy in Africa and the largest population as well. And we have a very strong team. And I think our investors got very excited about that and decided to invest in this business.
And yeah, go right ahead.
Sorry. And I think to your last question, how do we plan to use the funds? So mainly three things. The first is, of course, to improve our product suite. We're very strong on simplifying account receivables for businesses here in Nigeria. We need to catch up on our payables as well. Secondly, we'll then be trying to expand into different industries and verticals. We've seen early successes with the FMCG industry here in Nigeria, and we're trying to expand into the telecoms, medical services industry, and construction industry as well. And then lastly, this will provide the foundation for us to scale internationally beyond Nigeria into other African countries as well.
Great stuff. Now, look, as far as your outlook for the B2B space, in terms of scaling these payments, how do you think that's going to work out? You know, things are, the Nigerian economy, things are a bit tight right now. And, you did well as far as your seed funding round is concerned. But what's your outlook? How do you see things working out, I guess, for, businesses going forward in terms of making that transition from this manual way of recording payments to a more automated, more digital way of doing things?
So there are two major issues facing businesses right now. So one, of course, is inflation. And then secondly, of course, is the limited FX that businesses need to transact globally. So right now, you're seeing this basically have a massive effect on how businesses are able to survive in these difficult times. But what we're saying to businesses is that, first of all, you have to get your house in order, and you can use Duplo to do that. So one, Duplo can help you simplify the way you collect payments and make payments as well. With that, you're basically reducing the amount of time spent on manual labor with your accounting team on manual reconciliation tools as well. And that will give you more time to basically try and basically do more important things for your business, like increase sales, increase your customer base as well. But yeah, I think it's very difficult times, but hopefully things get better in the near term.
As far as just final question, the infrastructure challenges that Nigeria faces in terms of power, in terms of all these other things, a lot has been said about not being able to, tech your way out of or innovate your way past these infrastructure issues. From your vantage point, how much improvement do we need to see in that infrastructure space in order for these tech-enabled solutions to thrive?
A lot. But I think when you think of payments, as a business owner or as a consumer, I have to make payments, and I also have to get paid. So that would never change. What might change is basically how tech-enabled that is. But I think what we're seeing right now with businesses is that they're struggling to basically run their businesses manually. It's in 2022, it doesn't make sense for you to still be issuing checks. There's a lot of fraud involved with that. You also don't have to use manual bookkeeping to run your business as well. You can make a lot of mistakes. So I think businesses are now well aware of the need to go digital. But of course, we do need to have all these infrastructure things put in place for businesses who won't even think of going digital as well. And we're seeing that change. The CBN is providing rules to basically help businesses thrive and become a bit more digital. But like I said earlier, you still have to make payments and get paid. And that's why we're seeing a lot of investment in the payment space in Nigeria.
I can't let you go without asking your thoughts on crypto. Since we're talking about payments, how do you view cryptocurrencies? Do you think that down the line they can play a bigger role? They're very volatile now. I know Bitcoin is below 20,000 from the highs of $60,000 up in there. So give me your take on cryptocurrencies and any role they can play in payments going forward?
It's a very I think for me it's the technology behind crypto, so blockchain that I fully believe in. Like you said, crypto is very volatile. I do think they could become a potential exchange in the near term across the entire world. But I think for me, I'm more excited about the blockchain, the technology behind crypto itself, which is basically blockchain. At Duplo, we're looking at ways we can actually enable businesses make more secure transactions across the entire continent and globally using blockchain. So yeah, for me, the technology behind crypto is what is powerful. I think that's what's going to transform different economies across the entire continent as well.
All right, great stuff. Yele Oyekola, founder of Duplo, CEO, founder of Duplo. Thank you so very much for joining us to talk about all things in the payment space, cryptos, infrastructure. It's very exciting stuff. So congratulations on your raise, and we hope to talk to you again soon. Really appreciate it.